The story of a love so powerful it broke down all barriers between past and present, between life and death, between the golden girl in the dark tower and the tawdry redhead that he tried to remake in her image.
The Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo doesn't just tell a story of desire, it draws us into it, making us nearly feel the magnetic pull of the main female character, Madeleine. Every time I watch the movie, I have asked myself the same question. What is it about Madeleine that captivates Scott? And what is it about her that captivates me? Is she real or a fantasy? A muse or a trap? And in today's video I will analyze this captivating character. We will dive into the science of obsession, femininity, mystery and more. And so today we will unravel the obsession of Madeline in Vertigo. And why does she remain one of the most hypnotic characters in the history of cinema? At the core of Madeline's mysterious allure lies her constructed femininity, a deliberate and strategic collection of traits designed to captivate Scotty. From their first encounter, Madeline exudes a dreamlike quality, a woman seemingly out of time, whose presence is both haunting and ethereal. Her poise and grace are meticulously crafted. Her slow, deliberate movements and enigmatic gaze suggest layers of depth and emotion that invite interpretation. This femininity becomes a puzzle for Scotty, drawing him into the role of a detective not just in his professional capacity, but also on a personal and emotional level. He seeks to decode her, to understand her, and to claim her as his own. In this pursuit, Madeline becomes less a real person and more a projection of Scotty's desires, a mirror reflecting his fantasies of an ideal woman. And so, is she a muse or a trap? Madeline's magnetism is deeply tied to her aura of mystery. She appears as an enigma wrapped in layers of ambiguity. Her identity is seemingly split between the real world and the supernatural. Her claim to be haunted by the spirit of Carlotta adds an otherworldly dimension to her character, which only deepens Scotty's obsession. This magnetism is not purely rooted in any of her actions, but in the way she is framed and perceived by Scotty. The artistry of Vertigo, with its soft focus and vibrant color palette, projects Madeline almost spectral. She is often seen from afar, a figure to be observed and followed. Hitchcock's choice to show her through Scotty's gaze makes her both untouchable and deeply desirable, an object of fixation whose magnetic pull grows with every encounter. Madeline's elegance further amplifies her allure, decorating her with a timeless sophistication that contrasts sharply with the mundanity of the everyday world. Her perfectly styled appearance, from her iconic platonic blonde hair to her tailored grey suit, speaks to an unattainable perfection. This elegance, combined with her enigmatic demeanor, elevates her beyond the realm of ordinary human experience, and so she becomes a figure of art, a living portrait that Scotty feels compelled to preserve and possess. In many ways, Madeline's elegance is a form of control. It creates a barrier between her and those around her, ensuring that she remains unattainable and distant. And for Scotty, this distance only intensifies his desires. As the act of possessing her becomes a challenge he cannot resist, I think Madeline only proves that the way we present ourselves really matters. The clothes that we wear create an invitation, and so we need to ask ourselves, what are we portraying with our look? What type of invitation are we sending? Sensuality is another key element of Madeline's character, subtly intertwined into her interactions with Scotty. Unlike overt displays of sexuality, Madeline's sensuality is understated, relying on suggestion and implication. Her voice is soft and measured, lingers in the air like a siren song. Her movements are slow and deliberate, and they seem almost choreographed to draw Scotty closer. When she allows herself to be vulnerable, as in the scenes at the seashore or in the woods, her vulnerability carries an erotic charge that deepens Scotty's infatuation. However, the sensuality is always tangled with sadness and a melancholic undertone that adds to her mystic. And so Scotty is not just drawn to Madeline's physical beauty, but to the emotional depth that he perceives in her, the sense that she is a woman marked by tragedy and longing. This perception becomes the foundation for his obsession, as he believes he alone can save her, protect her, and ultimately own her. And so Scotty's obsession with Madeline is not only rooted in her individual traits, but in the way those traits intersect to create an idealized figure. Madeline becomes a canvas onto which Scotty projects his deepest desires and insecurities, and her femininity, magnetism, elegance, and sensuality merge into a portrait of perfection that blinds him to reality. He is not in love with Madeline as a person, but with the idea of her, an idea that he constructs and reconstructs as his obsession deepens. This is especially most evident in the second half of the film, when Scotty meets Judy Barton. Unable to accept Judy for who she is, Scotty forces her to transform into Madeline, trying to recreate the image that had consumed him. I think we can all agree that this act underscores the extent of his obsession. For Scotty, the reality of Judy pales in comparison to the fantasy of Madeline. And so ultimately, Madeline's mystery is both the catalyst and the undoing of Scotty's obsession. Her allure is deliberately constructed to ensnare him, a fiction designed to manipulate and deceive. Yet even when the truth is revealed, Scotty cannot let go of this illusion. The traits that made Madeline so captivating become the chains that blind him, ensuring that his obsession endures even in the face of reality. In this way, Vertigo becomes a meditation on the destructive power of idealization, and also the human tendency to mistaken desire with love. Madeline, in all her enigmatic beauty, serves as both muse and a tormentor, a figure whose mystery consumes Scotty until nothing remains but the shadows of his obsession. And so, in the end, Scotty's tragic end is a testament to the seductive power of mystery and also the dangers of surrendering to illusion. Madeline's allure, carefully crafted and deliberately maintained, reveals the fragile line between attraction and obsession, and between love and control. Through Madeline, Hitchcock creates a tale that lingers in the mind long after the final frame, a haunting reminder of how easily desire can become a prison, leading the protagonist to an ultimate destruction. And so, in this way, let's ask ourselves again, is Madeline a muse or a trap? And would she fit into the femme fatale archetype? Or did she simply by existing lead Scotty to a tragic end, letting his desire consume him? And this is exactly the power of a woman and the tale of a siren. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.